Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call everybody, or call the meeting to attention at, I'm saying 9:08.
Okay, welcome. I'm gonna share my screen. So we can take a look at the agenda. I do wanna let you know that I wasn't planning on working from home today, but it's kind of crazy out here. And so, I don't have the November minutes with us because they're on my computer. So I'm gonna have to table the November minutes for, next meeting, or maybe we can vote through email for the minutes. And so is there any community or public input? Anyone out there who is not a commissioner who would like to make an announcement? I do want to officially welcome Karen Forte to the meeting. Thanks for coming to the first meeting of the year, Karen.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And then I did send out financials. We don't have to vote on financials, but we do want you to review I sent you a P&L for financials through December of 2021. And so I guess I can pull those up if anyone has any questions.
Yeah, I had a few questions.
Okay. I don't know if Sandy, since you're here, if you would like to, where are my the financials? I just had them open. All right, hold on, everybody. Why do I always have technical difficulties when I'm on this meeting?
I can try and answer questions while you're opening, but just FYI that what you've received, the profit and loss statements that you've received, they're not final yet.
Oh, that's good to know. Okay, Mr. Al, you had a question.
Okay, yeah, I had a bunch of them that I've written down here. So I'm just wondering what happened to the carryover from last year? Did we not get that?
So carryover is just the money that's that we're using from our bank account, basically. The best way to kind of describe that is, so the money is our money already.
Okay. All right. So so it's not any additional income. It's okay.
Correct.
All right. And the garbage recycling, does that include our big bellies? Do we still service those things, or do we still pay for the garbage removal from the big bellies?
No.
Well, you do not.
We don't. Okay. Do we even own those anymore? Or?
No.
Okay. Who owns those? Because I know
Are you
there's.
talking about the ones by the L?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think those were ever ours.
Sure they were.
So the city takes care of them.
Okay. All right. And let's see, on our strategic planning, did we just not spend money on strategic planning this year? Is that why we're under budget?
Yeah, that's why.
Okay. And just curious, was there something that we had planned to do for that large $14,000 strategic planning expense that we didn't do? Is that something that we're gonna have to do that still is in the plan, but we just didn't get around to doing it, or?
Yeah, I think we allocated those funds for any project or any recommendations from the Vision Clark Street Master Plan. It just didn't end up being used.
Okay, and the same with COVID rebates and expenses,
Right,
there was just no ask, they never got run out to,
right.
okay. And then I'm just, I'm looking here on the personnel with Rebecca Fernandez. I'm just wondering, does the SSA, it might be nice for her to come and give a report and come to a meeting, because she's in contact pretty regularly, face to face, with a lot of the people and the businesses on Clark Street. And it
Uh-huh.
would be very good, I think, for us to hear what she has to say on her opinions on what's going on and interactions with people and so forth. And so I'm just throwing that out there for something to incorporate into our meetings.
I like that, Al. I'll take care of that. I'll make sure she joins us at our next meeting, which will be in April.
Okay, that's it for my questions.
Okay, cool. Anybody else want to discuss anything about financials?
Yeah, I have a question too about, so what happened to the PPE that was budgeted for? What was that?
So,
Purchasing?
the PPE was, if you all remember in 2020, what happened with COVID, and we allocated funds to be able to give some reimbursements to businesses who needed support. We did that in 2020 and then budgeted for it in 2021, thinking, it was going to be the same, not knowing what was going to happen. But everybody was pretty much, I would say, in recuperating stage by 2021. So we didn't really continue that program, I guess. I don't know, is that the best way to describe, Sandy?
Oh, I didn't know we were through COVID, but okay.
I think that the first year we had done rebates for up to update equipment if it was necessary, or to purchase masks and gloves and that kind of stuff. And then I think last year we realized that businesses were either had their own, or people didn't need to supply masks to their employees anymore, or that kind of thing. So people weren't buying them. So we just didn't use those funds for that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Just curious. I didn't remember. Thank you.
It's a good question. Although I am taking a professional our leadership training. I didn't put this in the agenda, but one of the things they're teaching us is about how to use the words we use effectively to be able to make sure you send the right message out when you're speaking. And I'm learning that saying that something is a good question is not a good idea. Because if you say something is a good question, that automatically makes everyone else in the room feel like their question's not good. So I just caught myself. That's what I just wanted to let you know. I'm going to stop sharing the financials if we're done. Are we good with financials? Chris? Yeah.
I'm good.
All right, cool. Next thing is on the agenda, we have Reconstitution Consultant. And we are gonna have to vote on this today. I did send to everyone all the materials necessary in order to be able to have the information that you need to make a decision. As I explained in the email, we need to choose a consultant, and an advisory committee needs to be in charge of doing that, of choosing a consultant, and you as the committee.
Carolina, I'm sorry, can I interrupt you just for a second to just see if anybody has any questions about what this whole thing means about the process of the reconstitution? Just to kind of take it a little step back. Does
Oh,
anybody have any questions? I know we only do it every 10 to 15 years, so some people who are kind of new may not be aware of what the process is.
that's cool. All right, good one.
Anybody have any questions about that? If not, go for it.
Are we on a 10-year cycle right now as opposed to 15?
I don't know if you remember this, but you were around 10 years ago when we did our reconstitution. We submitted all the documentation for a 15-year renewal, but when it went through city council, it was approved for 10 years because somebody made a mistake on the date. So we're asking for 15 years again this time, but it was 10 years ago that we reconstituted. All right, Carolina, go. Nobody has any questions.
All right,
Well,
cool.
there were some questions submitted via email, and I was just wondering if you were able to contact any of the providers for answers.
Well, no, I figured we would kind of address everybody's questions today. And then whatever is necessary for me to do from today, I'll do, and then we'll figure out. So no questions about the process. Now let's move forward to what I was gonna say, which is I sent you all the information you needed. And I did get a couple emails from people, and I think the main one was that I didn't forward this to you, Sandy. I forgot. One of the questions was about how do you pronounce that single man's company, Sabra or Saber?
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me, so I don't know, but it's Jeremy Brandt.
Jeremy Grant. The question was, it seems like they are not charging for signature collection, so their price doesn't reflect that. And so I think Wally was like, it would be nice to know how much it would cost total if they did do that. That's one thing that the commission wanted answered.
That's a big expense. I think he had a line item of $185 an hour after, which would probably be included in that collection of signatures.
And can I just add that as long as I've been doing this, we've always been responsible for the signature collection. And the main reason for that is not that the consultants don't want to do it. I mean, it's very time consuming and it's, however, it's the relationships that we have with the property owners and the business owners that help us get those signatures. Cold calling from a consultant to a property owner to get a signature is just not as effective as having us do it ourselves, which is why we've always just done it.
And
How time consuming is it?
I'm sorry, Chris, what?
How time consuming is it for you guys? Or
extremely time consuming.
I mean, like
look at
a 3-month period, or is it just something that you just have to chase after all summer long?
Well, yeah, you have to chase people. You have to call multiple times but I'm sorry, Carolina, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think that what I wanted to clarify about this is that the other two firms, what they reflect in their proposal is pretty much kind of getting the tools to us to be able to be prepared to go out and get signatures. Because there's no consultant here who's going to go out and get signatures.
So what tools, can I ask, who did we use 10 years ago? Is Is this one of the three people?
No, no, none of the three. So I think that Place Consulting did it 10 years ago.
Okay.
However, we just did 2 other reconstitutions in Rogers Park. We did Sheridan Road and Howard Street in 2021. And Tesca did both of those for us.
Are you guys pleased with Tesca?
We were, and it was, so 2021, right? Which we started in 2020. So it was a total pivoting of dealing with, sorry, Kieran, the city's ever-changing uncertainty, because of COVID and being able to do things virtually and all that kind of stuff. And they did a pretty good job just going with the flow.
Okay. And did you find that they did help you with the signatures, the kind of the tools that you were just talking about? Did it help you guys gather more signatures or enough signatures?
I mean, we gathered enough. We gathered enough signatures. The tools that they give us is so everybody, and I think everybody's the same. They will pull the pin lists. They will, gather as much information as they can about the landlords or the building owners or the property owners or, whatever it is. And then they give that stuff to us. And then we create like a spreadsheet of who we've talked to and when and who's signed and who we still need to reach out to and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So I pulled up Tesca. I just pulled up Tesca because that's who we were talking about, but I guess my question is, in order for us to make a decision, first of all, did anybody have any clarifying questions, which I think we've gone through? Are there any more?
I mean, we've done this before. Why can't we just take our format from 10 years ago and cut and paste and redo it and submit it ourselves? I mean,
I think we're
It's
required.
not. Yeah, we're required to hire a consultant, but it's not that. So Al, we do that, like the first step of this is a feasibility study. And we've done that already. And we've submitted that to the city and that total cut and paste from last time. And yes, so we've already done that portion. The portion that's coming up for is meetings. And we have to, so the whole community engagement plan, the whole asset mapping for, for the area, if we have to say area, that's the stuff that we don't have the capability to do. And that's the part that we have to do now. So it's the data collection, it's the, all kinds of data, including, population, that kind of stuff, community meetings. We'll still do the budgeting, we'll still do, the stuff that we normally do, but it's just a little more than that.
The legalese,
Oh,
right on
Carolina,
time.
the recording stopped. Oh, there you go.
I'm sorry, I was kicked out. I don't know why. I guess it was my internet, I guess. I'm so sorry about that. What happened on your end? Like, did the meeting just end?
No, we were fine. We kept
I
going.
guess my next question is like, I don't have it in front of me. I was going through my files. I can't find what's our line item number that we set aside for this in the upcoming year? Or is this
45,
going to be budgeted? I'm sorry, what?
45,000.
45. So if we do with Tesca 29, who's the middle of the row between the two. Sorry, I've got it on the screen here. I'm just looking at all their ancillary charges. With the ones that you did last year, how much of these extra charges came up? Or do you know?
I'd have to see what the extra charges were. I don't remember.
Were there some, was it egregious or was it?
So the legal description we have to pay for, the
Yeah.
The newspaper ad we have to pay for, and the mailings we have to pay for. So all those things, we have to pay for all those things.
So basically another $7,000 on top of this 29,400. So,
Right.
okay.
Hold
I
up.
mean, I feel like I don't want to sway anybody, but like, it just seems like the obvious way to go for us with what we have is to go with Tesca, just because we've had previous experience with them recently, you know, it wasn't like 10 years ago or anything. It was last year. The dynamic between the team over at Tesca and ours was really good. They already know a lot of the community because we've worked with them on several other projects, not just Reconstitution, or one project, maybe we've worked with them, not just Reconstitution. That's through other, like SSA 19. So I feel like it's very obvious by the amount of details that they put in their proposal, how detail
I was looking at
oriented
it.
they're going to be about their work. So I thought that was very telling. But like, yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that.
Well, Sable looks like they do pretty good work with a number of other SSAs, too. But I always wonder when the price, there's such a price gap with the lowest one to the next one. And that's what kind of, I don't know. What are we
Well, I
missing
think
from him?
the price gap between Sabre and Tesca, Sandy, correct me if I'm wrong, is that Sabre is a one-person show.
Oh, okay.
And Tesca has a Spanish speaker on staff, which is something else that Caroline and I talked about that we think is going
I
to be
think
really
that's a
important
big
for
deal.
Clark Street.
Yeah, yeah.
Sandy, I just want to insert here to make sure that as the commission reviews the proposals, that everything is very detailed and documented, because one of the issues that we always have here is whoever the loser is, you all just make sure that you have some type of evaluation system in place that can be tracked and delivered if that becomes an issue. I'm not saying it is, but that has occurred in the past.
Well, I would ask the question, regarding Sabre being a much lower cost, that have you interviewed any of the SSAs that they have provided service for to get references on how they worked out for them, the detail of their presentation and so forth? I mean, it seems if we're making essentially a $9,000 to $10,000 choice to pay $9,000 to $10,000 more to someone else than to Sabre, I think it behooves us to interview the clients that they've provided on that they've done, and interview them and see if there was a shortfall on what their expectations were, if there was any problems, or if they were very happy with them. Because I mean, $9,400 is $9,400 that we could spend on other projects in the SSA.
He's got a lot of extra costs though, too. And I feel, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying we should do
No,
our due diligence.
I agree.
I don't know if, I mean, I think one of the factors in not having interviewed them yet is timing. I think there's a schedule. right, Sandy, by which we need to submit to the city that we've chosen a consultant.
Erin,
So-
can we ask for an extension on when we, is that something that we could do? So unfortunately, because of January, right, the proposals are due right before Christmas, and then we have to make a decision right after the new year, so a bit more difficult, but
How much of an?
I mean, his proposal is definitely, I hate to call it bare bones,
Mm-hmm,
but when you put it up against with Tasca and was it Friedman?
mm-hmm. SB Friedman.
How do you like the stats? Okay.
How much time are we talking, Sandy?
I
I don't know, maybe a week so that Carolina can make some calls and
That's
get
better
back to
than I
everybody.
can say without
Okay.
seeing stats.
Unless,
By
I
the time
don't
I
know,
got to
Chris
stats
is
too, I was
going in a
excited.
different direction.
I
Okay.
personally, now that I want to kind of put it up side by side, I just read these individually last time. And now that I'm kind of like putting them up side by side, and this is honest, I don't have a vote in this. I can only make a motion. It just seems Tasca is just a lot more thorough and detailed, and will give a lot more support to the SSA 24 in this process. Jeremy, who it sounds like he does this well. He works out of Austin and Chicago, so it looks like he's more Texas than he is Chicago on here. That's just my one concern.
Good point.
We will do whatever you want us to do, if with Karen's blessing, if somebody wanted to make a motion one way or another.
I mean, I'm just saying the guy seems to have some good experience, and he
No, I agree.
worked with
Yeah.
Kimberly in the past at Place Consulting. So, I'm assuming that, I mean, he was trained by, one of the creators of this whole process, basically, which was Kimberly. And,
He's an analyst at Balm right now.
Yeah, I love Kimberly dearly. She was not one of the creators of the process. Process has been around a lot longer than she was doing this.
Yeah, who's Anthony? Is this? So it looks like Jeremy Brandt he's out of Texas, and then he's got a colleague, Anthony, that's in Chicago, who's part-time because he's got a job with Balm right now. See, those are the questions I have, I guess, is just really kind of his involvement. What kind of support is he going to get the SSA, or is he just going to hand us something over to, file with the city?
So I think Sandy's, what she said a couple minutes ago, good observations, Chris, was that do we want to make a motion either way, which is that you request that we interview the candidates before you all make a decision. And it sounds like, Karen, you're giving us the green light for an extension of a week. Okay. So, yeah, this is when.
Well,
move that we extend the process and have staff interview the clients of these companies, and also interview the companies themselves with questions that come up regarding them, and then report back to us on that.
Yeah, does your motion include all three, or just the two that we've been discussing?
I would say just go with Sabre and the Tesca.
Yeah, did you do that math yet, Priscilla?
And so would you need to have a special meeting, Sandy?
Yeah.
Does that
Carolyn?
have to be
Okay.
in
Can we have a little bit of a longer discussion? Because the more I read this, the more, guys,
Okay,
Well,
Chris.
you have to first see if somebody wants to.
before we
second the
take a
motion.
vote on this
Well,
motion,
we have to have a second first, otherwise.
I just like to hear from other people.
Yeah, if you don't have a second on the motion, it'll just die. So is there somebody else?
if Roberto or if you know anybody else is.
I second it.
Quality thing.
I second it.
Lydia's 8 to 4.
You want to hear more from
I'm
Sable?
usually 9:30 to at least 5:30.
Irene?
Mary
Yeah,
O'Connor doesn't
I
stop
second the
working.
motion.
Commissioner, she's
Okay.
looking forward to meeting you.
Whose
Has anybody got any
background are we
feedback from other
hearing?
people?
Yeah, whose background?
You don't
There's
have to.
horrible background.
We're not gonna be like watching.
There's
you work.
somebody on the phone behind somebody.
You're gonna be home, but
That's you,
Oh.
Karen?
There you go. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's repeat what just happened. I remember Chris saying before, or I remember Irene seconding.
Right, but I wanted to pause we got a second, but I also want to pause the motion real quick and just, has anybody got any other questions about Sable or the direction of this? I mean, the more I put this side by side, it is really heads and tails between the two. Sorry it took me this long to kind of do this, but I know price is one thing, but we've got the budget line and we're under budget with them. I don't know if we want to all meet again in a week just to, you know, here's Sable's, you know, client's feedback, if we get the feedback within a week. So.
I think we owe it to the taxpayers if we can save $9,000 to do that due diligence. And as Karen said, I mean, we did have a process of due diligence when we make a decision such as this. Not just play favorites with someone that we've worked with before.
Al, it's not about playing favorites. It's also support and getting it done right and being able to present something to the city to make sure we do get the commission in 15 years. Not a kind of a fly-by-night, you know, operation here. I don't want to call them fly-by-night, and excuse me for using that term. But it, you know, I'd like to know where his references, where this guy works out of, what kind of support he's going to give us, whatnot. So if you guys want to interview him, I'm game for the, if you guys like to make the motion.
I was looking at the deck that Carolina sent. Can we reach out to the other SSAs that use the individuals to see what kind of work they did and were they satisfied instead of just, you know, picking one?
Yes. Yeah, that's
What?
what the motion is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what the motion that we're making right now, Roberto, is to speak with Sable. I mean, Tesca, we obviously have a relationship with them. So is Evanston, Lincoln Park, Far South. They've got a nice presence.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is we know Tesca would get the job done and we would like the way they work. However, we want to see if Sabre can make the case and convince us that they can do just the same amount of work Tesca can for $10,000 less.
I don't know if it was just that. I think it was talking to people they've worked with and not just their recommendations.
Exactly.
I believe is what Al is saying, because we want to know what customer satisfaction was in terms of, are we already making the right decision? And is it backed up by what others tell us how that work was done and what kind of support they were able to give to the SSAs that did hire them?
So I can go out and I can go and make some phone calls to previous SSAs who have worked with Sabre, and I don't think I need an extra week to do that. But I thought the question here is that we want to interview Sabre and have them present to us, right?
Well, no.
We want to interview their clients to see
Yeah.
how happy the clients were with the service that they provided.
Oh, okay.
And what
So I
kind of support they gave
misunderstood.
you guys? Yeah, what kind of support they gave you? What kind of extra fees, ancillary fees they charged? I think if there's any additional questions, if you could please give it to Carolina sometime by by tomorrow morning. That way she could start making calls tomorrow. Not so much directly questions for Saber, but questions for their past clients that she'll be interviewing.
Okay, I'm sorry for misunderstanding. And yeah, that is completely doable. I can do that.
Okay. All right. So we got a motion and we got a second. Can I get a vote, please, to have Carolina speak with the clients of Saber?
I second.
All right.
Aye.
Thank you so much.
Cool.
Now you
All right.
guys need to schedule your next meeting, because you have to vote on this now by next week.
Well, let's just do it Tuesday, the 8th, if everybody's free.
At 9 a.m.
Yeah, we'll make it a quick 30-minute, one topic only.
All right.
Works for me.
Yeah. All right.
Make sure Carolina, make sure you get that posted and stuff too. Okay?
Make sure I get what?
If you're are you reconvening? Are you
Yes.
reconvening for the decision? Make sure you get that posted on the website
Will
on
do.
your SSA.
Do we need more notice, Karen?
No,
Okay. So they
since
have
you
to
already,
come.
she can just put it on the website today.
All right.
Okay, I'll take care of that. No problem. Thank you for the reminder. All right, cool. We have 15 minutes for me to do the rest of the agenda. So,
All right, good. Get her done.
all right, do it. Okay, so I'll just fly through it real quick. I did want to let you know that for public art, in 2022, we would like to add a mural to the Mile of Murals project on Glenwood. We want to do an installation on Clark Street. And there's one more public art. I think that's it. That's enough. That's about how much our budget can support, which is 2 projects. What I wanted to mention to you
The
is,
intersection, Carolina, is the
Yeah.
other one.
no, that's it. What I wanted to mention to you all is that a couple business owners last year were requested or would like to have a intersection mural / stamp on the intersection of Morse and Glenwood, west of the viaduct. They would like that intersection to be a LGBTQA flag. So we have been working with the city of Chicago, the city of the Department of Transportation to try to get this done. We were going to be given some support, financial support from the Alderwoman's office initially, but it turns out that menu money cannot be spent on this kind of project. Therefore, we don't have that financial support, which means that the SSA would pay for it. And me and Anna were talking and Sandy, and we thought, hey, why don't we make this be an extension of the Mile of Murals project and have this be the Mile of Murals project that we do in 2022, since it is along the what is it, footprint of the Mile of Murals. So it is going to cost about $14,000 to do this. And so I kind of just wanted to make sure this was okay with everyone.
Yeah, I would suggest that you reconvene or reconstitute a Mile of Murals committee with some artists and other community people, um, which is, you know, what we in the past that we had community um, support and guidance on the Mile of Murals.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think the issue that we've been having, that the reason that it's been kind of stagnant is that of course, when we started this project, we picked the nice walls to paint. And now that we've done so many great murals, what's left are CTA walls that are falling apart. And we don't have enough money to repair the walls and then do a mural. So we've been kind of, for the last couple of years, trying to get CTA to do some repairs on the walls. And that has not been going very well. So we don't really have, we're not quite there yet at that place where we can have a committee and pick a wall and do the themes and that whole kind of thing, because we really don't have any good walls that are left. What we do have, though, is on the east side of the tracks at, I believe, where they did some repairs, but there was already a mural there.
Yeah.
So now there's mural, wall, mural, wall. And what we were thinking of doing this year is doing that section. And right now, what Anna's trying to do is reach back out to the artist to see if he could come up with a plan for that, fixing that, because it's kind of in between his mural.
Oh, there's a whole between Estes and Tui. There's like a whole new block of wall there.
Yeah, the SSA doesn't go that far.
Right. Yes, thank you for that explanation, Sandy. That's right. That's exactly why we were thinking about identifying this intersection mural as a Mile of Murals project. And I think, were you talking, Al, but we're muted? Did you say something?
No, I was just saying that you know, the Mile of Murals and the Glenwood Avenue Arts District does go all the way up to Tui in its original conception.
Oh, okay,
I mean, it's a block in the Mile of Murals from Tui to Pratt.
okay.
So
We go to Farwell, Al. We go south to Farwell.
Yeah, but he's talking about, I think he's talking about north.
Oh no, I'm sorry. We do go to Pratt. We do go to Pratt, don't we?
yeah,
Yeah.
we go to Pratt.
Yeah, but north, we can't pay for the murals outside of the SSA.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any input on this, like about the intersection stamp?
I think once maybe have a design and a cost just to present it, so we vote on it that way. It's kind of just, I know we don't have to take a vote, but like make a determination on using those funds for this without the money, design, where it's going, what it's gonna look like. You know, a little bit bigger picture.
That's what it is. So this mural thing is like intended to be a ground stamp. Is that what I heard?
Oh, it's a intersection mural that is stamped on the concrete.
So yeah, ground stamp. Got it. And do we know how durable these are? Because I mean, I would hate to see. I mean, the cobblestone around this area is already pretty delightful. So I'd be interested in knowing about like what the shelf life on this might be, if it's going to be something that we spend a bunch of money on. If we spend $14,000 on it, if it's only going to be there for a year or two because people are just driving over it.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. And thank you, Chris, also for requesting that I send you all more information about what this will look like and what it'll entail, so that you can make a better, I guess, not that we have to vote on it, but like so that you can be comfortable with us spending those funds for that. And I will send you an image of what we're thinking about and some specs on the contractor we would use to do the intersection stamp, and kind of like, you know, more information about the product and its durability and quality and all that. I can tell you that I've already had conversations with this contractor, and we have they have quoted us for a product that would last at least 5 years. But why don't I go ahead and send you more information, and then we can talk about it again, I guess, in a week. And then I have to hurry up because it's 6 minutes away. So I'm gonna move on. And I did put reconstitution process in here to let you know that the next steps is after we hire the consultant, I think the next step is to fully construct an advisory committee, which will entail all of you, and then several other stakeholders from the community, specifically on Clark, Morse, and Glenwood, to join us. So we're thinking of people like someone from the 49th Ward office. We're thinking maybe some property owners over by Devon, since we're talking about expanding from Albion to Devon. And so it would be nice to have some property owners from there, and, you know, people like maybe someone from the library, or you know, who else are we thinking, Sandy? Did I mention everyone we were already thinking about?
I think maybe just in the interest of time, you could just see if anybody has any ideas and they can just email them to you.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Mhm.
That's nice. Vision Clark Street, Clark Devon is moving forward. I think groundbreaking will happen sometime at the end of this year, mid 2022 or end of 2022. Crosswalks at Greenleaf and Lunt. I don't know if you all remember me talking to you about how we received a couple grants to be able to install decorative crosswalks at the intersections of Greenleaf and Ravenswood, and at the intersections of Lunt and Ravenswood. We have designs of the crosswalks that match our brand standards. So we are currently working with the Chicago Department of Transportation to get this done. We did kind of come across a hurdle, which is that the intersection at Greenleaf and Ravenswood does need to be resurfaced in order for any product to be installed on those crosswalks, which is kind of a big hurdle because resurfacing is not cheap. So just kind of letting you know that that's happening. Wally already talked a little bit about the Rogers Park Social Pergola grant that we received from the city of Chicago, that we were able to get from, I think it was BACP, right, Sandy? And yeah, so if anybody has an opportunity to go and drive by there, it looks really, really nice. And we were very, very, very happy that we were able to help Rogers Park Social get this done, because it's a huge game changer. It's like, it's beautiful.
Sure, we're very appreciative.
Glenwood Alfresco status. As you all know, we have received some funds to institute an Alfresco plaza, I guess, at Glenwood between Lunt and Morse. And the status right now is that we have submitted everything to the city. We have signed an agreement with the city. Now we just need to get that agreement to be executed, I believe, Sandy. We just kind of need them to sign off, I guess. And for them to give us the green light to just get started.
We're waiting for the review of the law department.
Right. Okay. And I don't know if you will remember, but we did this whole like placemaking pilot thing last year where we put temporary people spots in front of a different business every month in order to get like more activation on the street and pull awareness to specific businesses in the community.
How did that work?
Oh, it worked. I thought it works really well. The only thing is that it was kind of was a lot of work for me. So we're not gonna do that again. However, we are going to utilize the people spot that we actually have, the one that we installed last year in front of our grow office on Clark Street, and kind of offer that space to the community to use for programming. so that it isn't me pulling up tents by myself once a month. So that's the intention for that. And I put Tui Park here because I want to let you know that I'm in the process of getting a meeting together with the advisory council, or whatever they're called, Tui Park Advisory Council or something, to just kind of to have a conversation started and let them know that we're there to support them, and how can we work together to make the park look nicer, and have them succeed as a Chicago Park District park. So I am doing that. And then just letting you know that Morse Liquors is being purchased by another person. A lot of people were aware that they had requested a special, what is it, Sandy, that they requested? The zoning?
So
They just need a special use.
Yeah,
for their-
they
they're
needed,
back to
they needed
use.
a,
I thought they were.
I think they switched, Al. At first they were going to do a zoning change and then they changed it to a special use.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
and that's moving forward. That was approved, and so that's happening. And then there was an issue over at the gas station on Toohey and Clark about just basically, I think, a special use as well. They just kind of didn't follow, the previous owner of the gas station hadn't followed the proper process in order to get their permits and licenses. And now that they have new owners, they're just trying to get that done. So letting you all know about that. Live, Love, Shop. Now I'm just gonna move towards real quick RPBA updates. Live, Love, Shop 2021. We got the numbers were lower than usual. So the staff at Rogers Park Business Alliance is kind of going to get together and debrief and talk about all of the moving parts that make Live, Love, Shop. And we're going to talk about, what do we do now? And if are we going to do anything about the fact that numbers are going down? And when I say that, I mean number of applications from people in the community who want to participate in the Live, Love, Shop program. And so I'll report to you what we come up with the staff. We are doing Shop Where Your Heart Is again this year in order to support the businesses in Rogers Park during their very low their low season, which is February. So we've kind of like created a little Live Love Shop cousin project, which means people, it's a raffle where people can submit a receipt from a business in Rogers Park as their raffle application or whatever, participation. Every week we'll do a drawing, and whoever, when there's going to be three places, first, second, and third place. All the places win gift certificates to businesses in Rogers Park. And at the end of February, all people who participate will be able to participate in a grand prize drawing of $1,000, which will be a combination of gift certificates that we receive, that we get from the from Rogers Park. Yeah, so I encourage you all to participate and let people know about it. This Live Love Shop, or Shop Where Your Heart Is thing. We did a ribbon cutting extravaganza last year, and that worked really well. And so what we're doing now is we are going to be doing quarterly ribbon cutting events where we cluster a good number of businesses who have opened within a quarter, and then we go out and do the whole ribbon cutting extravaganza dance with elected officials and RPBA. Annual survey results and COVID status calls. I just want to let you know that we do an annual survey with businesses in Rogers Park to kind of gauge where people are at and compare and see how, depending on the results of this survey, how we can become or be a supportive organization. Also, we did do about 100-ish calls to 100 different businesses to check in on them and say, hey, you know, we understand COVID is still a thing. How are you doing? And how can we help? We are currently, when we made those calls, we had a survey. And so we're putting together all the results from those phone calls. So once I have those visuals, I'll be able to share with you so that, you know, if you're interested in seeing, you know, where people are at. Old business, anyone? All right. New businesses, I just put in here some of the ones that I could think of. I may have missed one, so if I did, please let me know. I think the big deal one here is Rhapsody, which is an event company or an events company who's going to be using the main stage space. They're going to be doing all different types of performance art there, including cabarets, Sandy? Yeah, cabarets and such. And they're opening February 22nd of 2022. So letting you all know about that. And then I put /1325 West Morse there because now that Rhapsody's coming and there's going to be, you know, a lot of movement and activation over on that part of the street. You know, we want to talk about how the across the street building is going to affect their business, which I think it will. We have experienced that building owner is a neglectful business owner. They're not really concerned about the aesthetics or the, you know, the way the building looks. So and it's not doing a really good job of retaining its clients. And so we kind of brought it up with the 49th Ward office. And so I wanted just to let you know that that's a conversation that we're having, and we understand that it is an influential thing for Rhapsody, and we are gonna want Rhapsody to succeed. So it's a conversation that to be had. And that's all I have.
Is there a new owner for the main stage building?
Yes, yes, the guy, the doctor, Rosencrantz.
Woohoo!
But he's a doctor and he's also a magician. So he's going to be the magic shows are going to be a large part of the performances.
Yeah, that's what I thought when they said other events. I'm like, oh, I thought it was magic shows. Okay.
Huh.
Yeah. So let's hope he can do some real magic.
All right.
Yeah, they'll be fascinating. I hope they succeed. I'm really thankful, interested to see how they draw audiences when so much of our industry is having mixed results, and
Yeah.
Lifeline is not reopened yet. So February, and Omicron sounds interesting.
Right. Yes.
Sorry, guys, I have to go. So unless we want to continue talking, can I move that we finish the meeting?
Can I get a second?
Second.
All is
Thanks, y'all. We'll see each other next week, Tuesday.
All right, take care.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody. You're the best commission ever.
Bye.
Bye.
Arlene, I have a question for you off outside the official meeting here. Regarding the placemaking, our placemaking structure.
Yeah.
Is there can that be used for a single business, or does it have to be a multi-public thing? I mean, is there some business that could use that? Like Rogers Park Social has their pergola, on the street in front of their business. Can that placemaking structure be used to help a particular business that wants it?
Yeah.
As just sitting somewhere taking up a parking space that, hopefully in the shade or something, but it's if someone can actually use it. I mean, is there as a business resource?
Yeah, I love the way your mind works. But it does need to be because it is permitted through the city's Make Way for People program. It does need to be something that is public. So even if we put it, let's say, in front of Honey Bear, I don't know, for example, they wouldn't be able to use it to serve their customers only. It would have to just be there and be public space.
Okay, but even where Honey Bear is, there's what, 2-3 restaurants within a couple 100 feet of there. I mean, could they all theoretically could use it, right?
Right, which is why we have it in front of the Grow office where there's a cluster of restaurants that could use it. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering, do we encourage people to like send their food out there,
Yeah.
or?
Yeah, I
do.
talk to the businesses about it and I say, hey, look, that thing outside, you could use it. Send your customers there. It's public space.
I'm just trying to figure out, I mean, it's gotta be a way to get more usage out of it, right?
Yeah, and I
Other
think
than-
that's what I was trying to say when I talked about it earlier, is that, we want to make it attractive enough so that people use it. And that's why we want to make it accessible to the community to program. So if a group wants to do, I don't know, open mic on the people spot one day, they can use it. They can do whatever they want with it, and then it'll bring people out.
All right.
Where are you? Well, I like that mural behind you.
That's a picture of a mural from San Miguel Allende.
Oh, it's really
And
beautiful. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Al. It's always a pleasure working with you, and I'll see you in a week.
Okay, are you going to be on the festival committee again?
Yes, I totally forgot about it yesterday, to be honest with you.
Okay. All right. Well, first
But
Tuesday of the put it in your.
yes, I am, and I will be attending for sure.
Okay.
All right, talk to you later.
All right. Okay. Bye.
Bye.